on all the social medias, and then we don't have the camera on. Dude, we are we've been doing this how long?
It's not that long. We haven't been doing this very long at all. Just
embrace the process. We've just been doing it since September.
Year 7.
Oh,
we're doing it total.
What?
All right. This is the sportsden brought to you by thehumidor.com. Happy holidays.
I need a drink.
That's what we did last Wednesday show.
I know, but I gotta train kids later.
I gotta train. I got a 4 and a 7. Oh, I got lacrosse practice today. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so we can't drink today. But get to ABC because maybe you can. You can certainly drink tonight and this weekend. Some good games this weekend. Like the Georgia-Alabama game is going to be fun to watch. I'm looking forward to that. If Alabama pulls this off, then just, you know what, Nick Saban just, I mean, it's not like he's not already the best to ever do it, but.
Yeah, at first I used to say I still gave it to Bobby only because if Bobby had the playoff system in BCS,
right,
he would have more. But like now, yeah, you gotta get same as that guy.
Yeah, it's almost a silly argument at this point to even bring anybody else up, regardless of who your allegiance is to. But get to ABC when you're watching those games this weekend. It'll make the games better for you. 4:00 kick for that SEC championship game. I want to get into the rankings in a little bit, but the news that's dominated college football is where we need to start. And those are two things. That's coaches and transfers. And we could literally, I think, spend show after show after show on the transfer portal because there's so many moving parts to it and so many things that I don't think people know because there's no reason for them to know. They don't do it for a living. So if you knew, you would just have too much information. So I'm not saying that in a bad way. There's just a lot more moving parts than the kid just walking in and going, I think I can do better. So I'm going to transfer portal. So we're going to get to that. But I want to get first to the coaches because you've got something specific you want to get to, and so do I. But you go first with this.
So having dealt with this, the coaching searches and coaches leaving isn't anything new. Right? That's been happening. It stinks a little bit more because early signing period has made things worse. In terms of everything, like in my opinion,
I agree.
Kids having to commit earlier, coaches having to be fired earlier if you're going to make the change. It used to be you could do this, and you literally, as a kid, even if you were early enrollee, you had a month to figure things out, meet new coaches. You had the month of December, the beginning of January, because most colleges don't start till the first or second week of January. So you have all this time to be able to do what you want to do. But one thing I've always said, and I've told clients this, I've told kids this, and this is why I don't get mad when kids take 5 visits or they commit or they decommit. I don't judge them because and we talked about this on the last show, you're loyal to the university. Nobody else is. And that's good. Like you should be. But like it may be graduates. But outside of that, everybody else in there are mercenaries.
Rentals.
Yeah, they're rentals. They're temporary, unless they become an icon and it builds up, and then if they do become that, it's great. It's awesome. Like I think you should be, but for the most part, kids come and go. Transfer portal just makes it more easier to access, to be able to see it more. People have been transferring out before you even knew about what this stuff was.
Not like this.
Well, not like it wasn't as easy.
Well, not the numbers.
I'm saying, but it was never as easy as me just going to a coach and saying I want to put my name in the portal for 40.
Well, and other colleges weren't recruiting.
And then, like as soon as you could do that, as soon as you did that, colleges. And then, but this like the calls that I get from different kids, coaches. Hey, this kid, hey, he's thinking about it. That happened when I was in. Like perfect example because one, he's dead, and then two, statute of limitations is up. Lorenzo Booker signed to Florida State when I came in. His best friend, Whitney Lewis, I believe, signed to USC. Everybody thought he was coming to Florida State. He didn't want to go. He wanted to leave. Whitney was calling. The people were calling to figure out if he were to leave, could he get this? Thomas Clayton came in my recruiting class at Florida State, left, and I didn't know you could do this. This is when I found out he went on all 5 visits, like afterwards, and ended up signing Kansas State, playing the league. It typically never worked like that.
If we can, let's keep those separations separate. Those conversations.
I'm just saying that's just to lay the landscape of why I don't care about them doing that is because no coach cares about it.
Mm-hmm.
That family, and it's not that they aren't, but very few people have the relationship with their coaches that like I've had, that I had. I still have with Billy Sexton. I can go pick up the phone, call him, talk to him. Even when Bobby was around, pick up the phone, talk to him, pick it up like nothing left off. And not every player that played at Florida State had that relationship with them either. I talked with Freddie. Me and Freddie Stevenson talked about this. He likes Jimbo. He doesn't have that relationship with Jimbo Fisher. And he was a pretty good player for Jimbo. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Dalvin or Jameis probably has a different relationship, but star players do get better treatment. But most players don't have that really, really good like that. Like they tell you that I'm going to be your father figure, but they don't. It's business. No different than anybody else. When you go, when the average Joe goes and it's time to leave your job, very few people go and like you make it. The most you'll give them is 2 weeks notice. But most of the time you're not telling them you're actively going and looking for another job. Nobody's bold, and very few people are bold enough or good enough to be able to say, hey, boss, I'm going to go apply for jobs everywhere that are going to give me more money because I don't feel like you're doing this. No, you're going to go on your lunch break. You're going to sneak. You're going to hope nobody sees you. And this is how it's been happening for a while. And then when you get your job, that's when you announce. Then you may give them 2 weeks. You may not. And that's fine. That's how the world works. I have no idea why people don't think that the coaching world works the same way. If a coach,
you do,
well, because we put coaches on a pedestal
that
nobody else needs
to be. Coaches' faults. It's not.
No, I get it. Coaches, the coaches feel the need.
On a pedestal.
The coaches feel the need to fulfill the stereotype. Yep. And people feel the need to give them that. They're not your pastor on. Hell, I just had. Well, I'll tell you. I just had a cigar and some good whiskey at Goodfellas with the pastor, who's took another job.
Mm-hmm.
And but. I'm saying that to say this. When you have done it in the manner in which you need to do it at a school, Brian Kelly's been at Notre Dame for 10 years. That's a long time. You've developed relationships. You've recruited people. There are seniors who've been there for 5 years that even 3 years, 2 years, kids who just got there because you told them that you were going to be there. Same thing with I didn't even realize it's been like 6 years, I believe. Yeah. Time flies. You were given that job. Your boss the person who gave you that job is probably angry with you. When you know that, just go ahead and break. It is no good way to break it. And I'm saying this because Lincoln Riley and Brian Kelly both had the stankest going away meetings with their players because they felt that was the right thing to do. And I don't feel like it was. I don't feel like it helped anything. All it did was because they went in and they went with the same stock speech that Jimbo gave. Jimbo tries to give. Because the reality is this. Even when Jimbo left Florida State, you know why? All Jimbo needed to say was this. And I guarantee you those young men might not have liked it, but they would have understood it. And this is why FSU fans hate Jimbo. It's not because all you got to do is say, yo, $75 million guaranteed over 10 years. All my kids' medical bills are paid. Hey, man. Best of luck to you, dog. We can't pay you that. Like, that's the reality of it. Now, Jimbo had to say trash everything else, even though some of it was true.
Didn't people hate Jimbo though because he did it every year?
He did it every year.
Like, that was
part of it too. But it was just like this one right here. You denied it, but we all knew. Like, I was told that thing was happening the first game.
Mm-hmm.
We're playing Bama, and they're like, Jimbo. My boy calls me and says, Jimbo to Texas A&M, watch.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, I think I told you, when I said $75 million, you were like, dog, you're crazy. Ain't nobody getting paid that here.
Now he's underpaid.
Lincoln Riley, was it with the estimated 15? Was that what it is? Or was
total
it
of 110?
Yeah.
So I don't know how many years that is, but it's 110 million.
Like,
That ain't even the dopest part of the contract. To be honest with you,
all you got to do, like, you don't need no team meeting. Send a text, man. Hey, guys, man, listen, dog. I appreciate y'all for helping me get here. Well, if y'all ever need a reference, let me know.
We'd be clowning him if he did that.
Well, right.
If he didn't have a team meeting, everybody be clowning him.
But when you go to the team meeting and you break down crying and you're like, allegedly, that I'm doing this for the best interest of my girls. And what you probably are, but no, bro, like, you know what you're doing. You're getting it for $15 million in private jet access 24/7. And I'm not mad at that.
No, and you and I are together on this, but the thing, like, I mean, to your point, those Oklahoma players aren't dumb. Norman, Oklahoma, or Los Angeles, where you want to live?
Well, depending on the one hater that says that broke down his tax. I'm just joking. Who cares? I don't want to live in Norman, Oklahoma.
I mean,
I don't necessarily want to live in LA.
There's a reason,
but it's a lot better.
There's a reason why in California they can charge those taxes and prices are so expensive. It's because people want to live there.
Right.
There's a reason why you can't do that in Norman, Oklahoma. Nobody would live there. Like you're paying basically a feed for dope weather, right, is what he's doing. Like, I mean, the issue that I have with him specifically is how choreographed the recruiting stuff is done. That has been done. That, to me, that just rubs me the wrong way. And I know it's probably going to happen.
That happens. You remember when Tag first took the job at Florida State, and he like has a cycle every day. Like, they went back that same exact day a year ago at Oregon, and he typed the same exact tweet.
Yeah,
like a lot of the stuff, like, these are sayings that you've like.
Well, no,
you don't
just
change who you are in essence. Like you, when you were at Oklahoma, you were going to make this the mecca of college football or whatever. I forgot exactly what.
Oh no, I'm not talking about even that. No. Like, I get that. I'm just talking about the fact that he's trying to sell us that he had no contact, and maybe he didn't. Maybe his agent had all the contact until 7:45 that morning, right? But he knew when he went to bed the night before what was going to happen. So he's trying to sell us that, and at the same time, like, you want me to buy that all these recruits, every single one of them that decommitted, were surprised that you were leaving Oklahoma, and just their first thought was, "Oh, let me decommit." Like, no, I'm not buying that. Right. You screwed the fan base over, because what you were paid to do at Oklahoma, on Oklahoma dime, on Oklahoma time, was develop relationships and recruit kids. And you took that time, you took that money, and you just took it to USC. That's the only part. Like, he fulfilled more than his contract to Oklahoma. If they told him you got to do this, this, and this to make this much money, he did that. Mm-hmm. He went to national championship games, or did he go to? I don't know if he went to one. But he went to the playoffs. Right? He did more than what he was required to do. But when you spend time recruiting an amazing class on their dime, there should be something in you that goes, "Listen, guys, I'm leaving, but you need to give them a chance." Like, y'all committed to the university. There was none of that with him. And so that's the only thing for me, and maybe I'm being naive, but that's the only thing for me that I look at and go, "Man, that's poor taste." Now, Brian Kelly, that's a whole different
I hear
piece.
What you're saying on that, and I guess I just look at it differently, because it did what none of those guys are here anymore, but it did benefit my alma mater when that happened. So, but it was on the other. So actually, it was damn near exactly the same thing. Mm-hmm. Oregon, Tag was at Oregon, had the number one recruit, or like, it was looking like it was going to be the number one recruiting class in the nation at a point. He takes the job to Florida State. He doesn't do it like the same day. Those guys don't, but he attacks the guys that he's been recruiting for quite some time. Now, some of them stayed with Oregon, but a lot of the Florida guys where he was spending time at, those guys all went. But like, I see what I see.
Well, Malachi Nelson, who I brought the other day, is a big enough deal that yesterday I was in here working. I had the TV on, and when he dropped his note that he was committed to USC, it was breaking news on ESPN.
Right.
Like, that's, that's a big.
People knew that's where you're gonna go. Where when you have to rebuild a recruiting class and you have to do stuff, and they've had decommits already from USC. The first thing, and it's unfortunate, and I agree with you. Like, the right thing, the righteous thing to do would be say, "Hey, man, I'm leaving." Mm-hmm. Hey, but I'm sure we know.
I give him a pass on Malachi. I give him a pass because Malachi's from LA.
But a lot of the guys the guy we talked about the young man from here from Trinity, which I get why he decommitted. Marvin Jones Jr.'s mom, they never like Oklahoma's completely off of their board, and he was a close one. And she said, "I don't want to go to Norman, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I was going there because I like the coaching staff. That was it." So a lot of that, but he literally has like 5 guys from the West Coast.
Yeah,
and common sense would tell me like the first people you're going to. Because obviously, if they can play at Oklahoma.
Well, it kind of makes you wonder, is that why USC pursued him so hard? Because the number 1 quarterback is from LA. Like, why not Ryan Day? Why not? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, before we even get into the Brian Kelly thing, I think what this shows is really what big dogs do. Because we were talking Dan Mullen, James Franklin, I don't think anybody said Mel for that job, but like it was big talk, big names. Nobody in their mom would have thought.
Oh, I agree. No,
but what I'm saying, like it was quiet. There wasn't a leak until it was done.
Yeah.
Same thing with now we found out. Shout out to Mia O'Brien for dropping his bomb. I think she said she got it from a guy from Ben down at Tampa. Used to be with my First Coast News gang, but. About Brian Kelly actually saying like, "Hey, I would be interested in the Florida job."
Yeah,
to Florida fans who took that crazy, made my homegirl Mia famous. He did that to a lot of schools. He just made it known that, which is messed up, but still, he made it known to the schools. None of that leaked. Like, think about all the coaching searches that we've seen in the last couple of years. There's a leak there. Now, granted, this Miami one, the only people pushing leaks out are guys who are consistently wrong about everything down there. Any person with common sense would know that, one, they would have been hired somebody, but you can't have a nationwide coaching search with a coach still, like, and no AD. Like, you typically got to hire your AD first, then the AD comes in, analyzes, assesses the situation. They've waited this long, it's not happening. But like the LSU just boom, drop it in that. Like, and then some of the names I'm kind of hearing about Oklahoma, but not believing. The only reason I believe it because nothing's unbelievable right now about who's taking the Oklahoma job. The only reason I say is not unbelievable because I would have never thought these last 2 jobs.
Billy Napier.
No, well, actually, I did hear somebody jokingly say that, but it wasn't in that manner. It was that somebody would, like, if Florida found a better name, they would do something. I'm like, there's no way in hell that happens. No. But my point is that that's how big dogs move. It ain't like a whole bunch of talking. If everybody knows, it's either a guaranteed slam dunk or nobody knows. But the Brian Kelly thing.
Well, hold it real quick because I want to finish on Lincoln because I think it's so funny. I like Lincoln Riley. I don't dislike Lincoln Riley. I think he's really good at what he does, and he's going to kill it out there. But now you're starting to see like videos of press conferences and stuff like that of him talking about transfer portal kids and how if a transfer portal kid, were to quit on his team while the season was still going on, they wouldn't take him. Because they would have to question, what kind of character he has.
Yeah.
And it just makes me like sick. It's like, is there outside of preacher, is there a worse profession as far as do as I say, not as I do than coaches?
No, like remember Saban, and this is what irritates. Well, one, the one coach, there was a guy from Duke, and I said that's why he coached at Duke. If I go and I see these curse word lyrics.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It lets me know the character of the kid, and I don't want him. One, that kid can't get into Duke. 2, if that kid could get into Duke, you're taking that kid at Duke.
Right.
Like, or when Saban said this, and this is the wildest thing, we look at where these guys go to school, and if they've got like 3 or 4 high schools on their transcript, then we don't take that. Bullshit. Here's free game by big game. If your kid is 6 foot, if your kid is over 200 pounds, if your kid runs a real sub 4.5, and they go to a decent school, and they got good film, you know what's going to happen? Somebody's going to recruit them. Doesn't matter what happens. Like now,
Well,
you can have
in a normal year. We're gonna get to that in a minute.
You can have like the kid who's in a transfer portal from TCU, who's a damn good running back, but was a goon. I remember a couple years ago there was that running back that was a 5-star that nobody like just couldn't find a home.
Yeah.
But like he's in the portal, but he paid his penance at TCU, did really good. But yeah, it's gonna be peculiar the next couple of years until all of this balances itself out. But somebody will give you a chance.
Well, let's get to Brian Kelly because I want to stay because I got a whole bunch for the transfer portal stuff.
I think it's odd and it's weird him going to LSU, but whatever, that happens. Weird things happen all the time. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I have a problem when people try to deliver bad news to me in what's a stand-up way very early in the morning when you could have told me over a text, an email, or I already know. I don't need you. Like if you've already done it the wrong way, I don't need you to go try to do it the right way now.
Mm-hmm.
It's already cool. It's established, blah, blah, blah. No doubt. Like I said before, shoot the text. Hey, I got 110 million reasons why I'm leaving to go to LSU. I got paid $2.6 million allegedly here at Notre Dame. Love you guys. I hope y'all win it all in the playoff if y'all go to it. But I got to do what's best for me and mine. Remember, don't talk too much shit because at the end of the day, when you want to go to the league, they will ask me. And I got you. Just, not threatening them, just saying like, hey, anything you need, if I can help you out, I'll help you out, even if you don't mean it. Just leave it at that.
Yep.
And then let them dudes throw their shade. And because there's a couple guys that are going to be butthurt, and I get it. But don't tell me I never meant for you guys to find out this way in a text, because you could have stopped that. You could have been a man and said it, which is fine. But don't ask me, hey, I'll see you guys at 7 a.m. There's Central Time too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 6 a.m. No, is that 8? That's 8 a.m. here. So you get an extra hour. My bad. I apologize. Forgive me. I don't really know how to go backwards like that. Still, 7 a.m., 7 a.m.
I think they're Central. I don't know.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. 7 a.m. It's 7 a.m.
Yeah.
You could have done this if you really liked me, say, hey, man, we'll meet. I got lunch.
No,
dinner's on me.
Private jet's waiting, bro.
I know. He's got to get it done.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to come back.
You got Zoom now.
Right. Dude, we could have FaceTime. You could have like 50 people on one FaceTime. Like, my point is,
go to Hawaii, you can have 600 people on one voice call.
You called a meeting at 7 a.m. for 4 minutes for you to tell me a whole bunch of fluff and then, yeah, I'm going to LSU. Yes, it's true. We know it's true. When the blue check marks, when those guys, the ESPN guys are tweeting it, when the guy who hates Urban Meyer, I guess things worse for the Athletic, whatever. When he starts
Stadium or something,
he starts tweeting it, we know it's
Brett McMurphy.
We know it's true at this point. I don't need you to tell me that. Now, what I don't need too is like these. Now, again, I get it. He's a shitty person. I don't need these other things that are trying to build his legend. Because when you tell me, like, did you see the tweet about the coach for the Jets and the coach for the
that's old. That resurfaced. Like that story came out.
That makes me think he's even more badass. Like, if he called me and said, hey, come work on my staff, just remember, I had the head coach for the Jets and the head coach for the Packers shoveling snow. Imagine what I can do for you. I'd be like, damn, okay. Let me go get me some etouffee.
Yeah, I ain't even mad at him about that. Like, here's my issue with Brian Kelly is Notre Dame's season's not over. Like Oklahoma, okay,
their season's
they
got a bowl game, but it ain't nothing really.
No, and they, their expectations are playoffs, and so when they lost the other night, that was a wrap.
Right.
So you can say, well, maybe they lost because his focus. Okay, that's all fair, but he waited until the season was over to do it. Brian Kelly leaving Notre Dame. Bro, Notre Dame's still got a decent chance at the college football playoffs. Notre Dame took a hit last night, and the selection committee said it's because Brian Kelly left. They said we do factor in when a coach or a player is unavailable. And they should factor that in, by the way, because it's the 4 best teams at that time. You are a special kind of arrogant to go and say and preach hey guys, the summer, man, we go hard in the summer so we can win in the fall. We're chasing championships. We're about trophies here. They didn't have the balls to walk your ass up out of there when you still have something left. Like that, to me, that is pure insanity and unforgivable as a coach. I get the money side. Y'all can miss me with, well, you would have left too for the money. No, I wouldn't have. No, I wouldn't have. I can look you dead ass in the face right now, and I can tell you that if I were in his shoes and the exact same thing happened, I would have said, holler back at me. If you want me that bad, wait for me, because I need to see if we're getting in the playoffs. I'm not leaving my team. Guys, it's not like he was starving. He was already making money.
Right. He was making good. He's a millionaire.
The whole reason you get into coaching is not for money. It's for trophies. And he had a chance to go win a trophy that he walked away from, which tells me that he's now in it for the money. And so bump you, Brian Kelly. Like, if I'm a Notre Dame fan, I don't ever want to see your face again. You are a miserable person for that. Like, I'm sure I'm going to talk to him, because LSU I talked to quite a bit. Like, I'm going to tell my kids if they ask, only if they ask. I mean, dude left his team and they were getting ready to possibly play in the playoffs. So if he's saying he wants to be a father figure, which, by the way, can I vent on that for a second?
Please stop that.
Can I vent on that for a second? By the way, we got to get the ABC graphic up or something.
Speaking of father figures.
Yeah.
Drink.
Have y'all ever thought about just how silly it is that coaches say this? And I'm going to put it in this context. It's against the rules for them to give money or financial help. It's a big part of being a father, right?
It used to be they couldn't even give you a ride from point A to point B.
That's a big part, right?
Yeah.
They're limited on the amount of time per week that they can spend with the team.
In theory.
Not individually.
Yeah.
As a whole.
Yeah.
Right? They live in a whole different neighborhood than the kids.
Much different.
How is that being a father figure?
Depends on who your dad is and how you grew up.
No.
Maury Povich shows us that, like, they're different. Like, dad, or TV shows us dad leaves and moves on and has a great life.
These dudes are walking into well-functioning houses talking about, I'm going to be an extension of your family.
Right.
Dude, you ain't paying for shit. You're barely seeing the kid when you don't want him to run into somebody else. Mm-hmm. Like, your position coach is the one talking to him every day.
Now, that's true.
Shut up.
Now, that's the thing is, like, that's why I tell people, like,
you would be a terrible father if you said to your kid, I'm only going to see you between these hours. You get no money from me.
Wow.
Like, you'd be a terrible father.
That's a good deal.
Right.
Can I do that? Yeah. Is that legal? Right, listen, I only want to see you between the hours of 2 and 6.
And most of the time, I'm not going to see you.
Yeah, it really is just going to be with your mom,
your uncle,
your uncle. That's it, actually, because that's what it is.
Your uncle's
be hanging with your cool uncle, and then y'all report to me. I'll give you a meal.
Don't even ask for me for money because I can't.
Then I'll see you on Saturday all day, and then Sunday you'll come in and I'll check on you. Just make sure you're breathing, or we'll send your uncle again to check on you.
Right.
And that's only during the fall. Then for 15 days. In March, we'll
circle back around.
I'll circle back around, but only from 2 to 6.
Now, in between then, I'm gonna be looking for my other kids.
Right? Yeah,
we'll be looking for kids that are better than you.
I'm going to procreate with 25 other women and bring in more kids that are going to replace where you stand at.
Right.
You got a good point, but the family. I think it's oversold, especially now. This college. That's why I believe you should pay the athletes. I don't want to hear about Title IX shit anymore. Here's what I really don't want to hear about Title IX. Why I don't want Title IX as a whole for what it does for women. Yes. Mm-hmm. From a sports business aspect, I don't want to hear from it. And this is why women. Where is your bitching and moaning when these coaches are getting paid all this money? Why is it only if the players get paid that we want to say, oh, well, we can't do that. It goes to Title IX. You ain't saying that Sue Semrau don't get paid a fraction of what Mike Norvell gets paid at Florida State. USC's women basketball coach, if you think she's making that kind of money, or you're drunk. The wrestling coach don't make that kind of money. Softball coach don't make that kind of money. Nobody makes that kind of money. It's okay when we want to talk about these Austin Powers $1 billion type numbers when it comes to one person, and then you tell me where will we find the money? Shit, where you found the $115 million from?
Mm-hmm.
like you can go pay those guys a little bit more. And again, another topic, but I'm just saying, like, that's the reality is when the minute you stop, when Bobby made $2.5 million when I was there, and he was the highest paid coach in the NCAA at that time. He was old as shit, but he was getting paid. The minute you went over that, and I'm like, okay, that's getting there, but okay, I can see where you're going with that.
2.5 was a lot then.
Right. But I'm just saying, but like the minute you go to like 10 million, like, dude, this is professional sports, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And you're firing guys. Like, that's not
you're paying them 16 million to leave.
Amateurism is what I do on Saturdays with my son's flag football team. I don't get paid. I coach them. They play their hearts out. Amateurism, for the most part, because there's still exceptions, is high school football, where you have coaches getting maybe $10,000 stipends on a public school level with at the head coaching job, still having to teach, like having to earn a living and then do a side job to go with a bunch of kids that are technically getting things. Well, they're working for free, but if you're good, you get to do trips, but like you're not getting any true things of tangible nature placed in your hand as the whole.
Mm-hmm.
College sports is pro, man. Y'all might as well get this out of your head. It might as well, the quicker we go ahead and just rip the Band-Aid off and start acting that way, the better. And I don't want to hear, like, I don't care if they're 17, 18 years old. The guy who grew up in my neighborhood, a rapper by the name of T-Pain. Now, he got it all and lost it all during that time. But his ass is not, he had to learn how to pay taxes when he may buy you a drink. I'm in love with a stripper and I'm sprung. So like these guys can figure it out. Somebody will come and take care of that stuff. But like, this is ridiculous.
To piggyback off that, let's get to executive real quick. Executive Health and Men's Spa. Get over there if you're not feeling right, if you're feeling a little bit off, if your New Year's resolution is just to feel better, maybe lose weight, maybe be better in the bedroom, whatever it is. That's a weird New Year's resolution, by the way.
Be better in the bedroom? No, you should always want to be better.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you write that down,
some people put it on marker boards.
You think?
Yeah, like well, actually, you know what? I kind of said it's kind of weird. Like, don't let your significant other see that, because she may think you're trying to battle or something.
Right.
I'm trying to knock it down. Yeah, like, that's not sexy. Like, that's not like, I mean, it's sexy to some women.
Maybe internally, that's you don't put that out
because
there.
I find a lot of women talk about that aggressiveness, that they like that, or things that executive health spa can help you maintain extraness. If we can they talk about that, but they can't handle it. So if you go anyways, my point is, go there. If that's what you want, get it, but just keep it to yourself.
Go to Executive Health and Men's Spa. They'll help you out. Yeah. Maybe you just need a little testosterone. Maybe that's
that might just all. Everybody can live. The little testosterone ain't never hurt nobody.
Technically, can.
But yeah, I guess
you need to go see a doctor.
So, see a doctor.
Yes, go see a doctor. Don't listen to us. Go to Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa, over off of St. John's Bluff. This transfer portal stuff. To go along with what you were saying about the amateur thing. If you're a parent right now and your kid's a senior, maybe even a junior in high school, and you've done everything right, and your kid's done everything right, and you're sitting here and you're going, well, why aren't we getting offers? Normally I would tell you it's because your kid's not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the situation now at all.
Yeah.
At all. You're getting screwed. Okay. There's no other way to put it. This year's class, the 21 class did a little. The 22 class is getting it in a major way. The 23 class is probably going to be the same. And here's the reason why. It is this transfer portal situation has reached a new, what's the word I'm looking for, level of ridiculousness. I was pro portal when it first came out. Now I am completely anti-portal, 100% anti-portal. And it has nothing to do with, I get that we just talked about coaches leaving. Kids have always, to James' point, been able to leave. And I'm even down with, like, okay, you get the one free transfer. But here's the issue that we got now. And I'm talking to coaches daily, and I'm not going to put their name out there. But there's a couple of things that have been said to me. I'm like, whoa. Nobody's recruiting 22 kids because of the COVID year. So now kids that are already in school, You could have been in 2 years and you still have 4 years left if you redshirted this year.
Right.
So, I mean, that makes a little bit of sense. The portal's ultra easy, as James talking about. But then here's the one that when it was said to me, I was like, they're right. And then I went, oh, that's terrible. You know why they're recruiting the portal? Because those kids can't leave again. High school kid
without
they're going to sit out a year.
Yeah, the high school kid.
The high school kid, you bring a high school kid in, he's got a free transfer.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna give you that. Fair.
I mean, I'm literally having coaches tell me.
No, I'm saying that's fair, and I believe they believe that. But let me put it to you like this. So I started at 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I went to college at 17, turned 18 when I was in it.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between me at 18, eating 3 square meals a day for an entire year, getting on a real workout plan, is the reason why I signed at 19. So you could get me out of high school at 18, or you could get me at 19 years old, and I'm a completely different person. So like, it's like that undersized. It's like what the portal has become. And again, it does suck for the kids. But what happens is I'm gonna tell you as parents, I'm gonna tell you how to cheat. Not how to cheat the system, but you have got to now truly look at this as a business. It makes your job, your profession, even more important. And it still doesn't change it. It makes nutrition even more important. It makes having a performance trainer. And the reason why I'm saying that is because not all programs are created equal. Obviously, because the one guy, diabetes from Florida, whatever his name is, put everybody on blast.
And it's not true.
It's not true. It wasn't 3 years. It was last year.
Well,
COVID.
Even the way he made it sound is just dumb. But anyway, we'll get to that.
But like, you can legit go get a guy, and you know, even if it's not as good as your program, you know it's better than 90% of the high school programs that he could have came out of. And he kind of got some of that competition, like saw some of that.
I'm going to go back, though, to this is exposing everybody. It's completely exposing everybody. I can't wait for another coach to sit in a press conference, talk about
they don't want people to transfer. Yeah.
That they only want guys who are there for the long haul and part of the process. I cannot wait for them to fix their mouth to say that, because every single one of them are recruiting the transfer portal, not even interested in high school guys, not at all interested.
Like Bama's about to go get a kid, more than likely, that is a running back that everybody.
Talking about
Jameer Gibbs.
Dude, Jameer Gibbs, the best running back in the country.
Like, when he goes there, he's going to be drafted in 2 years. Why would
drafted 1 year?
Who this also helps? So there's a kid that I think he plays at Bethune-Cookman, tight end. I'm not going to go into why he had to go there, because he got in a little trouble. But he's going to go to, and he has the two options.
I love how you did that. I'm not going to tell you why.
I'm not going to tell you exactly.
He got in trouble.
I'm not going to tell you exactly what happened, but I'm going to tell you that that's why. But he's balled out 900 yards. Like, as a tight end, and any level is good. But like, definitely when you got a quarterback who physically, like we joke about some quarterbacks here. I don't know what's wrong. Their quarterback's healthy. Bethune-Cookman got 2 legs and 2 arms and still can't throw a spiral. But if he goes to bumps up, say he goes to Georgia, somewhere like that, like, dude, like, you think he's not gonna be a first day pick if he performs?
No.
So I mean, like,
I get all that, but
like, you're right though. Like, but who wouldn't? Like, again, it's just coaches lie about this. They've been lying about this stuff since the beginning of time. Like now they're saying portal kids, you're just a quitter, or even parent, like, oh, this kid quit, that's why he's in the portal, without telling you he pushed 5 kids into the portal. That's
the bigger issue right now. There are coaches all over telling kids they got till Monday to get in the portal. Like, golly, this is the same theme, and college coaches are going to hate me, but y'all can hate me because y'all are miserable people. Same coaches that sat in the living room talking about through thick and thin, I'm gonna be here for your kid. Now telling you better get out by Monday. Just y'all process that for a second.
There's a school.
Y'all pull for these people.
There's schools telling other schools that are smaller that here's 15 guys that will be in the portal that we want you guys, that if you guys want, you can have them.
It's unbelievable, man.
One of the guys called today. He said, my son ain't leaving. He's like, yeah. I'm like, he's either going to work out for your son or it's not.
Parents, know your rights. Know what that coach can and can't do when it comes to your scholarship.
Right.
Go study that, find that out.
Make
right
sure
now.
that you see if it's if most universities have switched to where it's a 4-year contract, but it used to be, but not all of them are.
Yeah.
Your NLI, your national letter of intent gets you 2. Everything after that is one. You have 4 1-year contracts.
Some of them are 4 though. To what you
no,
were
that's what I'm saying.
Like
some schools you need to find out
that out because if your kid likes the school he's at and maybe he's done playing football, then he can still be on scholarship.
Sometimes what will happen, and I saw this happen. Bobby did this with a lot of kids, not just the ones who got medical. There was a guy, Andrew Kennan, ended up being the best thing for him. Lost a ton of weight. I think he's a lawyer now, but anyways, good guy. Just wasn't a good football player.
Mm-hmm.
And Bobby, they said, hey, we need your scholarship. We need your spot, man. Go to school for free.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take care of it. We just can't have you on the roster. Because all a scholarship is maximum grant aid. So you get your maxed out grant aid, and but again,
make sure you get your meal plan and all that stuff too.
Well, yeah, but they're trying to push you. Like they're all these kids ain't just quitting. There's a kid who's in the transfer portal that he's in the transfer portal now, but Miller, from Ohio State. He didn't enter the portal just because he wanted to enter the portal. From what I'm told, he was advised to enter the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't force you to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
All they can do is tell you that they'll advise you. And then what I can say is this, because this didn't happen to me with the portal. It happened to me with my position switch in college. They were like, James, you can play linebacker, or we'd like to see you at fullback. And I didn't understand them liking to see me at something meant that you're gonna play that. Right. I learned quick though. I'm a quick learner. They made sure it was miserable for me. I saw where I was at on the depth chart. I ran a little bit extra that one practice, didn't get the reps, got yelled at more. And I've seen other guys get buried under a depth chart. Now, if it works for you, you rise to the top. But you got to go through a lot of BS just to be there when they want you. So, like, you got to pay attention. And I say that to say they'll do that to get you the position flip. Imagine what they'll do to your kid to get him to get rid of that scholarship.
Right. No, it's just, man, it's just a shame. It's a shame. And I've talked about this a couple months ago. Like, a lot of these guys are friends of mine and coaches, and they're good guys. It's the world they live in, though. Like, it's literally the world they live in. Is to tell you what you want to hear, and then once you get to campus, do whatever they want to do. Like that is what it is. And it is painful to watch this class of 22. James, my phone's ringing off the hook right now with college coaches. Not one of them asking about high school kids. Not one. Had a situation where I got a call yesterday morning. Excited, man. Like, yes, finally. I can't give away too much or give away the school. It's like, finally, man, this class 22 kid I got is about to get what he wants, what he needs. Get on the phone. What's up, coach? Yeah, man, we're looking for a portal guy. They already got a starter. Like, what are you looking for a portal guy for? Like, why you're not signing? Nope. We're looking for a portal guy. Hey, can I tell you about? We're not interested. We want a portal guy. Like, God bless. I mean,
but some of these guys, man, like, again, like I was telling you, like, there's a couple calls I got from some of my friends up in the Atlanta area that I made a couple calls to for some schools. They had a couple big time kids signed to some big time programs that aren't happy, and they're looking to go somewhere else. And they're like, hey, do you think any of your contacts would be interested in this guy? And I'm like, man, I could call. I know they was interested in them last year, but so why wouldn't they be interested a year? And in this program, they have really good facilities and things that make you better. So why wouldn't he? But it's just the nature of where the thing is. It just means,
the NCAA was right on this. Like, we always make fun of the NCAA, but they gave in on this free transfer.
Mm-hmm.
And they were right. There should be restrictions. And that doesn't mean that what the college coaches are doing is right. That doesn't mean that. But specific to this, there should be some level of restrictions. And then the NCAA doubled down with a dumb mistake and gave the free COVID year. Like, we talked about that right when it happened. Like, that was going to be a disaster, and it is a disaster, a massive disaster. But they were right on this transfer portal stuff. There shouldn't be a portal. There shouldn't be a free transfer. You should have to appeal. You should have to go through the process. Like, they were right.
It should be something, a deterrent.
And not because it's not fair, but because it keeps order in the process.
Right.
It sucks for the kid, but we all have things in our jobs that suck, but they have to be done because it's part of a process that makes the engine run better. The NCAA
it just
was
made
right.
JUCO. It just made every school a JUCO, as opposed to JUCO used to be where you got your guys. But like now, everything is like. And I will say this, like, it does make like, this is where you truly need general managers at your college, because every college has to continuously look at and evaluate who's around.
I'm looking for this text because I want to get into this real quick, or this tweet. It was Diabate, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking for this. Okay, here it is. Let's see. Mohamed Diabate. Did he delete it? He deleted it. I see what he's doing now. Yeah, he regrets that. He regrets that.
You found it?
Yeah, he said Mohamed Diabate, linebacker for the Gators, tweeted out a day ago, "We've been getting fed takeout food out of a hot box for 3 years. How can you make real gains?" Then he circles back around after he gets some heat and gets called out on that. Says nothing to do with Savage. Savage has been trying to get it fixed the whole time, hence why we wanted to stay. Then he says, when the new facility gets here, it's game over, point blank, period. So he's like kind of, circling back around. Listen, here's the thing. Like, I don't know the details about what happened in Florida, but I can tell you this with certainty. They weren't ordering these guys crystals and having them delivered. Like, most of the time when these guys go in to work out, they go in, they work out. There's a whole like shelf of muscle milk or whatever that is, whole cooler. They can get as much as they want, as many snacks they want, protein, all that kind of stuff. And then when they leave, they are handed a box with breakfast. That doesn't mean that box is from McDonald's. That box was made there.
Right.
So it's handed for convenience. Take it, go.
All right. So the best way to explain it is at bowl games.
Mm-hmm.
Bowl games, you do have sit down meals. Like, you have to go to breakfast, but you have your practice and your lunch is given to you when you're leaving practice. They have like this, not trough, probably the worst way to say it, but like there's basically soapy hot water. Put your hands in, some kind of cleaning. It's probably better now. This is when we did it. And then you had your box. And sometimes it's a sandwich. Sometimes it's Boston Market was the really good one.
But talk about day to day, because you're talking about the one-off.
No, I'm bringing that up because that's the most relative to this COVID year.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Because what happened was, do we need to go? I guess we'll have a 8 o'clock. This is your 8 o'clock?
Yeah, it can be.
Okay, yeah. So we need to get to everything was closed. So like you physically, like you couldn't hire these people. Like these people were furloughed. There was nowhere. COVID like shut down everything. So that's the only way you could feed them. But different universities were doing different things. Alabama maxed out everybody. Maxed out their meal allotment. So, like hopefully you had good family home or circumstances and you could go grocery shopping. Mm-hmm. And because there was guys who were getting a lot of money to go grocery shopping if you had to go home. Florida State shipped meals. And you had no choice, but like they were doing this based upon some caloric calculation. Right. So like if you ate your food or you did what you were supposed to do, you were fine. Now, to his point, it's hard to make gains more so when you don't have an open weight room you have to make makeshift things at home. You are piecing these things together, or you run out, because this was happening too with some schools. They would give you the powder, but the powder is 28 scoops and you may need you may need 3 scoops that day. So it's not 30, it's 30 days to a normal human. Right. It's not enough for you. That being said, what benefit, like if you're not leaving what benefit does it have for you to say that? And then you can go back and say, well, that has nothing to do with Storms. That's Storms, Savage. I say Storms, that's Florida State's guy. But nobody goes back and puts that on the coach.
Yeah.
Like when you make that statement, everybody's pointing to your SNC. In the SNC, like I was talking to somebody, I think it was T-Wig about this today, as a guy who does that. Bro, you can't outwork a bad diet.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's genetics, man. Like my sons will be big. Their daddy big, their granddaddy was big, their mama got uncles that's big. It's just genetics. You got some, like when I look at these Bama cats, like that ain't their strength and conditioning coach.
Right. That's
their
why they're
strength and
5
conditioning
stars.
coach isn't hurting them. Like he's enhancing.
That's legit
them.
why they're 5 stars.
Like, yeah, but like, dude, like when I look at the John Coffey looking dude for Georgia, I don't know how he was a 3-star. Maybe he developed late. But when I look at his nose and his face and his body, no lab can that what like he might have been created in the lab, but it wasn't at Georgia.
Right. Yeah.
That's like everybody has squat racks. Everybody has 45-pound plates. Everybody has dumbbells. Everybody has med balls. They have the plyo balls. Like your workouts at a certain point are just your workouts.
Well,
there's intensity that comes with it.
Well, to also put this even further, James, is like Florida, Georgia, Florida State, all of them are now measuring like your speed at practice.
Right.
They want to know exactly how many calories you need. Exactly.
Right.
Like they're not doing all that to go give you Popeyes and a takeout meal.
Now there are schools that do that. Like I was talking to somebody about FAMU after the Classic, not this year, like 2 years ago when they played it last. I know for a fact because I know the guy who gave them the card to run for their post-game meal.
But
they went to Popeyes.
I'm talking about Monday through Thursday.
Right. But I'm just saying
in the summer.
In general, like that, like that's not like, but even then, and they know so much now, and there's so much more they can do for athletes now than they can do. Like we used to steal lunch meat from out of the calf.
Yeah.
We would take the dessert boxes, get turkey, and we taking whole loaves of bread.
Mm-hmm.
And they tried to curtail us because that was quote unquote a violation. Now, after Buddy cried at March Madness, saying there was nights when he was hungry, now they got to provide you as much food as you possibly want. Like they stopped us from eating because we would eat in the calf and take takeout stuff. And they were trying to curtail that, but now you can't do that no more. But like now they've got nutritionists like that. So our guy who was the nutritionist for us works for the Philadelphia Eagles. He created his job at Florida State. He was a GA strength and conditioning. Josh Hingst was a GA strength and conditioning coach who just got into sports nutrition, and he noticed we didn't have it. So now the real thing is this, and this is what people don't want to hear. And this is why I was saying you as a parent, you can give your kid a built-in advantage. Now they got to be talented still. But a built-in advantage, but it's a freaking job. They do the stuff. We had the Bob Pod then. I don't even know if people use those anymore because they don't really care. They just need a measurement.
Mm-hmm.
But Bob Pod, boom, breathe. He needs 6,500 calories a day.
Mm-hmm.
I never ate that much.
Right.
I've tried. I think I may have accomplished that one Thanksgiving or Christmas. But like, that, like when people talk about Michael Phelps and his 10,000 that is a full-time job. You are literally eating, and sleeping, and training.
And prepping.
Yeah, and prepping. So like, if that's the only way to work, that's the only way you're going to make consistent gains. And the craziest thing is, you know what happens when you eat 65 and when you actually make that consistently and you're working out and you're doing everything you need to do, it goes up.
Yeah.
Your body gets used to it. Your body becomes more efficient. Now you're hungry.
We're not telling you jokers that are 40 years old and 45 like me that you can eat 6,500
Now,
calories.
when you're like us now and we're sitting down all the time, you probably should go to the 2,000 calorie diet that people recommend. Or you should go to Northeast Florida Executive Health Spa and let them figure it out. But yeah, I just like it's. I don't know. I think it's better ways for him to have handled.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't know. It's he can say what he wants to say. It's just tell the whole story. That's it. Just the way he tweeted it, there was obviously intent.
It was something in there.
It's like
he wasn't happy.
No, he wasn't happy, and it came
Maybe
across
he wanted
as
crystals.
making an excuse for a bad year. Like that's what it came across as to me. It's like, well, the reason why we sucked this year is because we were eating takeout boxes. Okay, dude. Yep, that's a cool story, bro. Get to Green Acres, by the way. Get to Green Acres. You have rights. You have amendments. Green Acres is guaranteed to be open almost every day. I mean, they got to take time off.
Especially, like right now, it's Monday. Well,
I'm saying don't go there at midnight.
Yeah.
I wouldn't walk up on a gun store at midnight.
Nah.
That's not wise. But get to Green Acres for all of your hunting and fishing needs. What?
I need to get over there, man. That barbecue, it's a barbecue joint.
Oh, yeah?
Across the street from it.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So maybe you need, that's a dope Christmas gift, really.
Barbecue and bullets.
Barbecue and guns.
Yeah.
Like you could go over there, you could get a gift certificate from Green Acres, and you could get a gift certificate from the barbecue store. And I guarantee your man opens that on Christmas.
That's gonna be a happy guy.
Bro, like, come on.
Guy. Like, ain't very big.
You could even slip in the gift certificate that suggests to him he needs help at Northeast Florida Men's Spa. He'd still be fine.
Yeah. Go
get a gun. Go get your gun fixed. Go eat some barbecue. That's a hell of a Christmas right there.
Go for it.
Go to ABC too. Man, come on. Man, God, we have
all we trying to do is helping people, man.
We should put together a Christmas package. No, we shouldn't because we're not going to. But that would be awesome.
Work, yeah.
A Christmas package.
A box with a gun, bullets. Like, get the little, that's Easter egg baskets, huh?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, if you're a woman, you can go to this store. We just centralize it, right? Where you get like this certain type of bourbon. Then you get a consultation at executive. And then you get some barbecue. And then you get a gun. Like, you got to give him something. Like, don't give. Well, I guess he's got to buy the gun technically.
Technically, yeah. You can get him a gift certificate though.
Yeah. Give him a knife, some boots, some fishing gear. What was the thing you said you wanted to shoot?
A lot. Oh, I want to shoot the musket.
Musket. Yeah. You can get him a musket, a gift certificate for a musket. We got anything else?
Trying to remember. I was mad about something, but I guess it's not
too bad.
Wasn't that mad?
So, are we doing the live show?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I talked about it yesterday.
Okay, and that's at Goodfellas.
12/14,
December 14th, and people can come.
Yeah, people can come. We'll have a sign up, and it'll be a slight cover because we'll give you the first drink or whatever you want, something for free. But
okay.
I think Scott did that for everybody who came out to the Florida.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, gave the first drink.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do that.
That's nice.
That was nice.
I mean, my bill was pretty hefty.
Well, you were drinking.
I was.
So,
all right. Well, I look forward to that. You can follow us on our social media. We'll get that information out shortly. We'll see you guys on Friday with the picks, which we didn't do last week, but we will do this week. So we're done. All right. We'll see y'all on Friday.